let's talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Come on, let's talk about it. Check it out, yeah. My brother is him, no matter what color of skin. My sister is her, although we speak different words. Humanity is my family tree. Every hello is like planting a seed.
Love is a language that I speak with the beat in my heart while everything changes. Follow me, I can see in the dark and make friends with strangers. Fear is deep and it keeps us apart, but love is contagious, and love is my language.
Yo, there were two kids on opposite sides of the playground, having fun, running around like some greyhounds, chase down each other yelling tag, you're it, but their dads almost had a fit. Why? Cause they were two kids from opposite sides of the train tracks, whose parents say that you just gotta face facts. They say that some people are just different, and suspicion is how you deal with them, trust isn't. The kids never heard the word racist. Before that, people just had different faces, and everyone was fun to play with and spend the day with, but the parents judged on a much different basis. But yo, these kids were intelligent, brains developing, good memories like an elephant. They remembered when they played with each other and thought, they're crazy, that's my brother.
Love is a language that I speak with the beat in my heart while everything changes. Follow me, I can see in the dark and make friends with strangers. Fear is deep and it keeps us apart, but love is contagious, and love is my language.
Yo, they were two kids from opposite sides of the border. One's a citizen, one's an immigrant's daughter. He brought her to have a better life and he taught her. For her to get ahead, she would have to work harder. So she did. She was a straight A student, but this other kid tried to make her feel stupid, making fun of the accent she's had since back then. In general, acting like a bad friend. But instead of getting mad when she's facing ignorance, she recalls what dad was saying. In a patient and steady voice, she explained the story of a life full of joy and pain. Obviously so smart, and she spoke from the heart. This is how walls get broken apart. The other kid's heart couldn't resist her. She thought, I was so wrong, this is my sister.
Love is a language that I speak with the beat in my heart while everything changes. Follow me, I can see in the dark and make friends with strangers. Fear is deep and it keeps us apart, but love is contagious, and love is my language.
My brother is him, no matter what color of skin. My sister is her, although we speak different words. Humanity is my family tree. Every hello is like planting a seed. Hey yo, let's talk about it. We gotta talk about it.
It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. It's really that simple. Everything we do leaves a ripple. A ripple in time that turns to a wave. You either surf it or it crashes down. Choose your adventure, cause eventually you're ashes. So I live for my passions. Ain't no life passing me by. I'm all about action. We can talk about it later when we feel the effects, cause they were lasting. Putting in the work now, so later we can kick back. I ain't got no 401k, just a click track. Making something out of nothing, and that's something gives back. Residual energy, call that the feedback. Loop it up and make a new arrangement, then bump that to infinity and back to the present, where we put it on wax so we can deliver the message to the people tuning in on the earbuds, or if they hear it on the speakers in the big club. These days it's rare to hear something unique. Copycats copying copycats and sounding weak. I'm here to leave an impression, cause it seems the rap scene is in a depression. It's really that simple. Placid, had to shake it up, change the perception. Laughing instead of crying and complaining, control the emotions. Even when it's raining, the grass is growing, and I'm knowing that it takes hardship to build character. That's why I'm breathing it in, don't need an air filter. Building up resistance, immune to the garbage. Sticking to my heart, that's the life of an artist. Hardest thing I've done is stay true to it. A lot of cats fall off, don't follow through with it. I try to not get lost when I'm looking for myself. The moral compass guides us to find the true north. Stick to the path, I stay on course. lost my way a couple times to find my voice. Now that I found it, I'ma use it, make some noise. Better yet, some music so our souls can rejoice.
Talk about it. All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful, transformative, awakening planet of ours. This is Metaphysical Meetup with Marc live here on the Intuitive Prospector Facebook page. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my team of moderators who will be monitoring your comments to make sure we keep this platform positive with community, conversations, connections, encouragement, motivations, thinking outside the box. I'm Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector. I'm your host here every Friday via Facebook, and then in a few hours we'll be over on the YouTube Live. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing in the world, you can go to marclainhart.com or just internet search The Intuitive Prospector, and we can do a little prospecting to find that diamond within and find the many hidden gems that are in our world. A lot going on in our world. So good morning to the followers. Good morning to the subscribers, the Diamond Hub subscribers, and my Patreon prospectors. Really, truly appreciate you joining me here on Fridays. It's Friday. So we're here in the States. We're getting ready for a long weekend, Labor Day weekend. So 3 days. Every weekend's a long weekend for me now that I'm semi-retired. But today we're going to talk about a few things. I do want to give a shout out to the music because my music is approved through Meta. I have a full sound collection now. The first song was called Love Is My Language by Secret Agent 23 Skidoo. And love is all of our language, right? That's, the work that I do as a medium. We find that love is the one consistent thing that connects us from this physical world of what is seen to the other side, whether you call that heaven, whether you call that afterlife, Summerland, the good place. That's the same love that correlates back and forth. Have you ever seen the movie Coco through Disney? I love that movie, that cartoon, because it talks about going over the Rainbow Bridge, the etheric. It's really a look at mediumship, right? And how the Spanish cultures honor their dead by putting pictures up to remember them, right? And if you've not seen Coco, I would highly recommend that you do that. It's a great movie, great message about honoring and remembering those that have crossed over. I don't like to use the word dead. Because I don't believe in death anymore, especially with what I do. And I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but that's not what Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live is all about. It's about presenting concepts and ideas and theories and hypotheses, and yes, conspiracy theories for what aligns to you, because you're the sum of all of your experiences. And I've had some very amazing experiences that tells me that death is not the end. Death again, I don't like to use the word dead because it implies an ending. And with everything that I've experienced and all the messages and thousands of readings I've done with people all around the world, it tells me that there is an intelligence and a love that connects us from this world, the physical incarnate, the density of our flesh suit and what vibration we are. Once we leave, we go to the other side. And this other side is right here. It's just in a different vibration. I always remind people that heaven is not up, hell is not down, because we're on a round planet. There is no up or down. And that heaven is not a location in our mindset. It's a vibration. That's how we get there. Our vibration aligns to that. So that is the song we opened up with. It's a new song called Love Is My Language by Secret Agent 23 Skidoo. And then, of course, I always have the Ripple Effect by Spends Quality. Those are the two artists. If you want to look them up on Spotify, you won't be able to necessarily get the same sound collection that I have because I'm an approved content provider through Meta/Facebook. So this was provided to me. But it's all copyright free. All the music that I play from my show here, my podcast, my YouTube show. Those are all trademark, copyright, royalty-free songs. And I always like to just give credit where credit's due to those artists that are, trying to make it. So welcome to the show. Welcome, Tara. Good morning, Rafe. Good morning, Julie. Hi, Salvador. Hi, Katie. Victoria, good to see you. My mom is watching. Good morning to Mom. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. And the concept that I want to talk about today, couple things actually. It's about time, right? And a lot of, like I said, we are the sum of our experiences, right? And I've had some pretty traumatic experiences in my life. I call it the traumas and the tragedies, the TNT that blows up. Think of TNT like a bomb that blows up. And this started years ago when I was around 27. And, it's a reminder about how time is the only currency that you spend without ever knowing the balance in your account. So use it wisely, right? That's the universe tells us that time is our greatest commodity. I just had a conversation with a client, and I relayed to her, because she asked what I charge for a private reading. And I do a lot of private readings, but when it's private, that's my time, and my time is my greatest commodity. Time is my currency, and I have no idea what my balance is in my bank account. I don't get to see that, right? So I don't know if I have $1 million or if I have $1, right? But she asked me, she said, how much do I cost for private readings? And I told her, and I said, I'm not really concerned about the money. I need money to survive in what I do, right? But you're paying for my time to give you consulting, advice, guidance, healing, therapy, whatever that is that you're looking for, because everybody is different, right? And when I said that to her, that made more sense to her, right? Because I know that there's a lot of people out there in the spiritual community that just charge a lot of money for. I try to keep my prices reasonable because I don't want to be overpriced, because I want to reach all aspects of our community, right? Those that are very financially well off and those that maybe not so. And I do a lot of pro bono work, like today's show. These shows are pro bono. Anytime that I'm working in a public arena, like doing a divine service for a independent spiritual church or one of the churches over in the Spiritual National Union in the UK, those I don't charge for. Those are free. Those are my time. And I like doing that because we get to discuss philosophy, give readings, have prayer, and help people out, right? So that, so I do a lot of pro bono work. But it was just, it's just a reminder that currency, you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you have, right? I'm thinking of Steve Jobs when he talked about, at that time, he was one of the richest guys in the world. And he had said that, I can't take any of this with me, right? So it's a reminder that time is the only currency you spend without ever knowing the balance. So use it wisely, is today's message. And if you go over to my YouTube channel, which you can subscribe here at marclainhart.com, and I'll put the link in the Facebook page for you. That message is going to be how to take our pain and turn that into purpose. And that's what I've been really focusing on the last few months since my life-changing surgery to my spine. Some of you know that follow my work. I had major spinal surgery on my L4, L5 that required a 1/2-inch lift with a 3D printed titanium spacer of a 1/2 inch. So I'm back up to 6 foot tall now, but also had to have my L4, L5 completely fused together. So think of it like an old rickety bridge being re-shored up. That's what has been done to my back. And rightfully so, after almost 53 years on the planet and what I put myself through from the Coast Guard to the fire service, I did a lot of wear and tear on this body, right? These tires needed some updates and replacements, but the medicine allowed me to have this technology placed into my back, and gives me a new perspective on the journey, right? And a lot of pain. I'm actually in a little bit of pain today just because I had a pretty intense rehabilitation 2 days ago, right? But that rehabilitation is making me stronger. And so the show that you're going to see over my YouTube channel, if you decide that you want to subscribe to that, it's telling us to take our pain and turn it into purpose. And using that time, like I said, time is the only currency that we spend without ever knowing the balance, so use it wisely. But when you take your pain and you turn it into purpose, a lot of cool things can really happen. And I'm going to give you some examples of the golden rule, how to treat people. You want to treat people how you want to be treated in the world. And we see a lot of chaos in our world, a lot of divide, from the science community to the technology community to the political community to even to the religious community. I'm seeing big, battles taking place with even in my own organization of the Spiritual National Union, right? So it's there, but we sometimes have to go through great chaos and divide in order to gain that painful perspective to bring us back together for purpose. And I've got a article that's going to be coming out through Best American Psychics. If you follow my work, it'll be also on my newsletter, and it'll be at marclainhart.com, where I write about From Pain to Purpose. I'll talk about it in the show over on YouTube, and then the article coming out September 1st, which is this Sunday. I will give you tools for the toolbox of how you're like, well, how do I take this pain and how do I turn it into purpose, right? And it's really one day at a time, but you'll have to read the article or go listen to the show to get those extra tools, if you will. So I'm going to put I'll head over to the Facebook page. Again, good morning to all of you. Thanks for being here on a Friday to join me. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, taking that deep breath. Learn to let that stuff go. Get my new book if you want, Reflections Between Worlds. I'm working on my next book. My story, I guess it would be my biography of my journey of how someone goes from a community logical worker to a free-minded, free thinker, spiritual prospector, I guess is the synopsis of that. So a lot of them will contain past articles that I've written for both Om Times Magazine and Best American Psychics and my own. So let's go over to Facebook real quick. And then I'm going to give you some tips for the golden rule, because I think in this world, I can show up on Fridays to share with you encouragement, motivation, thinking outside the box. And like I said, there are things that you may not agree with, and that's fine. We can always agree to disagree. But remember, social media. I think today's social media platform is quite gross. I try to use my platforms, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or what have you. Where is my show? Where is the Facebook page? I am not. Oh, I got to switch over to the Intuitive Prospector. That's why. There's just a lot going on, but I can use these platforms, whether it's my podcast, Inspired Living Radio. You can get that show 8 seasons wherever you get your favorite podcast through. Could be iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We had a really cool guest that came all the way from Australia. He was our live guest and really enjoyed talking with him. So you can check that show out. But using these platforms, whether it be at Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, marclainhart.com, Om Times Radio, for my show, Inspired Living, again, which is now rated as a best inspirational and spiritual podcast to follow if you want to check that out. Again, we have 8 seasons of many different topics that you can follow along with. That's so funny that I don't see the video streaming. Well, it doesn't want to switch over. And we're past Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde ended on Wednesday, and we did have a lot of technology issues. But what I'm saying is, today's social media is so crappy, and I personally believe that AI, artificial intelligence, which we talked about in my group this Wednesday in my spiritual development group, it's here, it's rolling out, things are taking place. But I personally believe that AI is going to start to clean up a lot of the misinformation, disinformation, cognitive dissonance. Today's society is breaking down because we're accepting feelings over facts, and feelings are okay to have, but when you start replacing feelings with actual facts, institutions, society will start to crumble because everybody's opinion is different and nothing will get done. So you have to come back to that window of factual information. Okay, there we are. So let me get that comment. I'll put my avatar in. And it's funny because I said avatar because within AI, I'm now creating my AI twin and how to create that. So look for the Feeling Grateful avatar. That'll be the YouTube link. Again, the show starts over on YouTube at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, using these platforms for positivity, because with social media, how social media works today, for example, and again, we can have disagreements, but we can be civil. We can show compassion, we can show respect, we can show perspective for difference of opinions. And that's what I'm going to really be pushing in the years ahead during our Roaring 20s of transformation, because how social media works, in my opinion, in my viewpoint, if I say I prefer apples to oranges, that's my preference, right? That's my preference. And again, we can agree to disagree, but a lot of times I'll get random people, and I just had somebody just do this to me the other day. A random person who I may be a friend with or not be a friend with would, respond and say, so basically what you're saying is you hate oranges. No, that's not what I said. I just said I prefer apples to oranges. It has nothing to do with hate. But in social media, because everybody has an opinion behind their keyboard, and it generates negativity, it generates divide, it generates chaos. And so basically what you're saying, Mark, is you hate oranges. You also failed to mention mangoes, bananas, and grapefruits. Educate yourself. I'm literally disgusted, right? That's how social media can work. And I've seen it, I've experienced it. I used to participate in that yuckiness of it. I don't anymore. In fact, I had somebody reach out to me who wasn't even a friend through Messenger and asked if I would do a demonstration of mediumship. And I said, oh, well, of course I will. Are you affiliated with a spiritual organization, a religious SNU, church, divine service? Happy to show up and be in service to spirit. And she goes, no, it's my own personal Zoom room. And I don't know how many people will be there. I'm over in the UK. I know there's a time difference, but I want you to come be the medium. And I said, well, that's different. You're requesting a private spirit circle or private demonstration for your colleagues in your own Zoom room. And she responded back after literally asking me, which I'm always in service to spirit. I'm always happy to help and do a demo or help people communicate. She responds back and says, oh, I'm not paying for it. Mediums don't get paid to do what they do. And your comments have now created a negative response on me. And I said, well, I apologize that you feel that way, but that's on you. You reached out to me, and my time, this goes back to our message today, time is our greatest currency because we don't know how much of our budget is left, right? And I said, you're requesting a private my time reading, not knowing how many people will come. If you want to do that, here is my prices for a small spirit circle from 10 to 20, or a price difference of, the price goes down 20 to 30. That's fine. And she's like, no, you created a negative. Mediums don't get paid. We sure do. But we also balance it between our services to a religious, and if she would have been of a religious organization, an independent spiritual church, I would have said, I'm happy. No, you don't have to pay me. That's fine. But this was some random individual from the UK who I'm not even friends with that had the audacity to reach out to me to ask me to use my time to fill her. We don't need to record. To fill her needs, and it was just like, wow. And I said, this is on you. I hope that your business that you just started in 2023 works out. Take care. I could have gone in a completely negative, aggressive response, but I stopped. I took a breath. Take that breath. Listen, I explained it to you professionally. I explained it to you, the difference between a private reading and a public reading. I gave you my prices for my time. In your opinion, you don't think mediums should be paid. There are opportunities and circumstances where we are paid because we have to live a life too, and we have to pay to live in this world. We're the only species that pays to live here. And I ended it with kindness. I said, I hope you're, best of luck to you. I hope it all works out for you. Take care. I will let my team know and my manager know that this was a cold call and a spam call, and we'll record your name for future references. Have a great day. And that's true, because think about how many times, especially as a public figure, I get tons of spam calls, right? I don't know how, obviously my information's been leaked or been stolen or been hacked, because I get all these from around the planet, right? I had one today from, shoot, if I go look at my call log, I had one from Virginia, one from, WhatsApp, and I end up blocking them. But it's like, once you're out in the public, you're going to get people coming at you, asking you for different things. And you have to really decide, your time. What is your greatest commodity? It's your time. What are you doing with your time? And for me, after my surgery in April and going through recovery and rehabilitation and being stronger and using that pain to purpose, once you're in that healing modality, people pleasing goes right out the door. I'm not going to people please for people. I'm going to be kind and compassionate and caring, of course, the KCC model that I teach on and I apply my life to. But I'm also going to call people on their bullshit. I'm going to be, set up boundaries and barriers when I'm going to be very direct, and I can be very direct and kind at the same time. Honey goes a lot farther than vinegar, right? Now people are going to get responsive to that. Like she did. She's like, I don't like your response. It makes me feel very negative. I'm like, well, that's on you. That's not me. That's just me saying the facts of the matter. So you have to learn, in social media, as we are through what I would call our adolescence of technology, evolution, and growth, right? Are we going to go, think of your own adolescence period when you were going through adolescence through your teenagers into a young adult. All of the changes, all of the thoughts, all of the evolution that you went through, the things that you once liked, now you may not like or don't even participate in, right? This is how technology is working. We're seeing technology through social media, the news cycle. I can say that I am BC. I'm that old to say I am BC. And that's not before Christ, that's before computers, before cell phones, right? I am BC. So I knew what the world was like before internet. I knew what the world was like before social media. I knew what the world was like before Zoom and TikTok. And as we go through our adolescence of evolution and progression, there's going to be a lot of chaos in that because, again, we're taking people's opinions and using them over facts. And I personally believe, and again, this is my personal belief, and this is where we can agree to disagree. And then we just leave it at that. We can agree to disagree because my shows are based on perspective. My shows are based on flexibility. My shows are based on perspectives. My show is based on a smorgasbord or a spiritual buffet that we can lay stuff out and talk about different concepts. And there's certain things that you may like, and there's certain things, just like if you were in the physical world and you went to Golden Corral and had their buffet, you're taking things that you like and you're leaving things that you don't like off your plate. That's what you can do with my information, my experiences, my soul adventures, my perspective. But we can always agree to disagree. And we don't have to go down this path through social media of getting to, oh, well, I prefer apples to oranges. Oh, you hate oranges. No, I did not say that. So just be mindful with social media because we're going through our adolescence of progression. And there's going to be more that's going to come, robotics, AI. We just had a very in-depth conversation on my spiritual development group. And if you ever want to come visit us, you can get the information right here at marclainhart.com, where I have people in the United States, Canada, and the UK, where we share as a tribe perspectives, what we're going through, where we work on spiritual development tools for the toolbox. But we talked about AI. And some of the perspectives we're in agreement with it, and some of the perspectives we're not in agreement. And that's okay, because it helps gain perspective from different parts of people's experiences, learned behaviors, beliefs, religions, whatever that may be. But it gives also you perspective to hear somebody else's from the other side that maybe you didn't even think about, right? And so AI is coming, and I personally believe that AI, even though people are like it's scary, just like they thought the internet was scary, was going to be the end of the world, right? But if you go back 25 years ago, we watched this master class, and they talked about 25 years ago, it was just a theory and a hypothesis that you could order your groceries online, you could order your cat food online, your dog food online, your medication online. Oh, that's never going to happen. 25 years later, you can probably relate that you probably at some point have ordered something online. I do it all the time, right? Because it's convenient, it's easier. And those companies now are billion-dollar companies. There's one that starts with an A. I'm sure you can think of it. It's like a jungle, right? That is going to be a trillion-dollar company at some point if it's not already. So it's either Apple or Amazon, right? That's the A's that I'm talking about, that have impacted our lives through the technology platforms. But we're going through our adolescence of this, right? We're only about 20 years into this, of this technology. The internet itself, I can't remember, it was March something. I can't remember when the actual internet was launched to the public, but it was in development 10 years before, between universities and militaries were using the internet before it was actually released to the public. So think of the same thing with AI. AI has been in development for the last 10 to 15 years, the algorithms that we use, and it's now being rolled out. I can look at my Zoom platform right down below, it's opposite, right here in my toolbar. There's an AI companion that can take notes and summarize today's show if I want that. So AI is going to have some really good benefits, especially in science and technology and medicine and communications. It's going to start to unlock some doors of questions we've had for many, many centuries, because that's our growth through technology, artificial intelligence, robotics. And if we approach it with that fear energy, it lowers our vibration. And of course, it's the end of the world. It's gloom and doom. I don't subscribe to that anymore. There will be some bad things, like there's the dark internet. There's a lot of porn on the internet. So kids are growing up with porn. I always, for me as an adolescent, I was always having to turn it to channel 33 on the cable box, which was the Playboy channel, because that was the only thing at the time, and trying to get the channel to skew to see if you could see something, right? So, and that's just me being transparent. I'm sure a lot of guys out there could relate to that are my age, of trying to get that cable box just right without subscribing. But today's generation can grow up and you can type at your fingertips anything, whether great or gross, that can bring content into your awareness, bring content into your who you are. And, it's a reminder of what you take in, put out. Are you having garbage in, garbage out? Or, being mindful and being dedicated and disciplined and devotion to be like, I'm going to be very mindful of the information that I'm allowing to come through. AI is going to help clean that up, including factual statements, misinformation, disinformation, cognitive dissonance. That's what I see as a futurist. That's what I see as a seer coming down our pathway of progression during our roaring 20s of transformation. But again, with all the changes that we're going through, be mindful that everybody is entitled to opinion, but your opinion does not have to be instilled upon me. It does not make that fact. You have your free will and choice. And if we start to move into a mindful thought pattern, energy, consciousness of working with our fellow human beings, working with our neighbors, working with our friends and colleagues and family to try to better the world, a lot of times this can be accomplished through meditation. This can be accomplished through breath work. This can be accomplished with just taking time to disconnect so you can make that time to reconnect. Dalai Lama talked about years ago, if we started teaching kids, instead of putting kids, I was raised in the generation of physical pain based on a paddleboard, or in school, the principal could paddle us. That was actually authorized, if you can believe that. But we were associated with bad behavior with pain, right? And in a sense, that's a form of abuse. Today's religion, and again, you may disagree with me on this, and that's okay. When you're taught as a kid that hell is a very scary, fiery place with a big guy with red horns, in a sense, that's a story. That doesn't make it fact. That's one story out of a Bible, right? But if you follow scripture, but that's just one aspect, because there's many different religions with many different scriptures, from Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism. But that, in a sense, that story is meant to scare. That story is meant to control. That story is meant to make sure that you're being a good human. I believe everybody that's born is born with morals and ethics, and it's the story. It's like, we're not born with racism, right? That song that I opened the show up with today, Love Is My Language. If we go into love, race, you're not born with racism, you're taught racism because somebody looks different in what you were taught, whether it's by your parents, through education, through religion, through your own free will and choice. But racism is, you're not born with racism, you're taught racism, right? And you have to look past that, because that's where we're going. We're a very diverse species with different opinions and different experiences all around the world. But at the end of the day, the heart's the same, the blood's the same, the brain's the same, the flesh suit is the same, but we all might have differences based on the color of the skin, who we love, who we worship, who we elect, and that's fine. But if we start to move into that language of love, and knowing that our time is our currency and not knowing how much of a balance we have left, the Dalai Lama said, instead of incorporating pain on children as a disciplinary act, which has waned, and start making them, instead of going to detention and writing on the chalkboard, I shall not do this 100 times, have them sit in meditation, teaching them visualization, teaching them manifestation, teaching them mindfulness, teaching them meditation. He said, if we incorporated that even within our school systems across the United States and around the world, consciousness would change, the frequency would change, the energy would change, and a lot of the chaos we experience today would be gone within a generation. We'd be looking more focused on our neighbors, the planet, ourselves, how we can make this world better. And within a generation, the chaos that we experience today through the power of meditation would be gone. You can go look that up. You can research it. It's, Thich Nhat Hanh talked about this, somebody I follow and love who's now in the spirit world, talks about the power of meditation, mindfulness, visualization, taking breaths, practicing, not responding. But again, it's your journey, it's your time. And again, the time is the only currency you spend without ever knowing the balance. So use it wisely is what I'm saying. And with the time that I have left, this surgery really opened up my eyes to take my pain and and turn that into purpose. Is it happening to me as a victim, or is it happening for me to give me a perspective, and to take that perspective and turn it into purpose? So that article will be out on Sunday. You can catch my YouTube show over if you want to connect to that. But I want to give you some things to think about. Strength comes from struggle. Okay, strength comes from struggle, and it's that old adage: what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And when you learn to see your struggles as opportunities to become stronger, better, wiser, then your thinking will shift. And it's quite amazing. You don't have to take my word for it. Again, I can lead a human in knowledge, but I can't make a human think. And my neighbor, compassion, my neighbor is mowing his yard. So hold on. Okay. I had to shut my windows. I have my windows open. It's a nice summer day in here, Seattle, and I hope you're enjoying the end of summer. But my neighbor, it's a Friday, it's summer, he's out, he's mowing his yard. That's fine. So I just had to close my windows so you didn't hear the lawn. It's a leaf blower he's doing, not a lawnmower. So what I was saying is strength comes from struggle. When you learn to see your struggles as opportunities to become stronger, better, wiser, then your thinking shifts from I can't do this to I must do this. Or as Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I put him into my article that's coming out, he teaches us when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at start to change. And that is real. But again, that's a sum of my experiences. I'm sharing my soul adventure with you. And until you've had that encounter, until you've had an NDE, a near-death experience, or you've been in experiencers of ufology, extra-dimensional beings, people will have their opinions about you. Oh, that Marc guy, the intuitive prospector, he's crazy, he's local, he's woo-woo, he's out there. I'm out there because of my experiences and what I've experienced firsthand, and I share that with you. And at some point, don't discount the day you may have a rude awakening when you see something that your mind goes, I am seeing that, but then the ego goes, I'm going to try to debunk that. That's not what I'm really seeing with my eyes, right? Because it's not of our natural world, or it's a concept that you haven't been introduced before. And again, these concepts were introduced to me in my mid-20s at the age of 27 when my brothers passed into the spirit world, my father-in-law passed in the spirit world. And it's a reminder to me of time, because today is my father-in-law's birthday. He would have been 72. He passed at the age of 46, almost 47, from multiple sclerosis. Yesterday would have been my little brother's 46th birthday. He was murdered at the age of 21 for marijuana, which is now years later legal in most states. Not all states yet. It will be. I do see a future where the federal government will codify marijuana, because it's not an alternative plant. It is a natural plant from Earth that's been around for thousands of years. It's been used by cultures for thousands of years. But yet, for some reason, here in the United States and other parts of the world, it's illegal. That just takes time. That's progression, right? Progression doesn't always move fast, but progression, whether slow or fast, is progression nonetheless. So what I want to share with you before we get into our readings today, and while I'm thinking of that, I'll go ahead and put in the link to the Zoom room when I open up the Zoom room. If you want to come in and have a reading, a conversation, a healing, some breath work, maybe a quick meditation, we can do that. I'm happy to do that. I will put that comment in under my avatar of, let's do something fun. Let's do sending hugs. So look for the sending hugs avatar. The invite link to Zoom will be open. You can come in live. I prefer you come in on camera is my preference. When I open up the Zoom room, not yet, we'll be there in just a few minutes. And then turn down your volume or put in a headset just so we don't get feedback, because that's really hard to concentrate. And I can give you a reading. I can, we can talk about things. I do have some classes that I am preparing for now that I have a new direction in life, and that pain gave me purpose. One of them is called Experience the Etheric, where I teach you through firsthand knowledge, through great mentors, great teachings, and a lot of education over this last decade, teaches you the basics of how to experience the etheric. And what the etheric is those that have crossed over through life into death and the afterlife, and connecting to your clairs, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, your claircognizance, your clairaudience, your clairfactory, your clairgust. It's the same senses as see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it, which I believe today most of us would agree that those scientifically are agreed upon facts. See it, taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it. What I teach you is how to use the clairs of spiritualism to think of it like plugging my guitar in to an amplifier, and taking those same scientific senses that we agree upon and enhancing them, that it helps you to experience what is unseen. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there, right? The 3 eyes in life that I always teach on: 2 to look, 1 to see. So I'm going to take my book down so we can get into some card readings. Again, if you want to get my book, my first published book as a co-author, by Best American Psychics, True Psychic Experiences Between World Reflections. You can check that out. You can get it online at Amazon. It is a bestseller for its topic. You can get it at marclainhart.com. Just go to the store and the links are all there. Some of you may have noticed, again, awareness is the greatest agent for change. There's a different background now. I've changed out Grogu, who used to be there for a long time. And if anybody knows who that is, sitting in the singing bowl, it's somebody that I follow and love and have loved him before he was famous. I followed him for years, and he brings the power of imagination and storytelling, and ventriloquist, I'll give you a hint, ventriloquist brings him to life. So if anybody knows who that is, go ahead and put in the comment section, and we can talk about it in the readings. Okay, so let me get over to the page. Again, I want to give you some examples of what you can do. It's called the golden rules of life. You know, the golden rule, if you don't know what the golden rule is, the golden rule is treat others as you like to be treated. Treat others as you like to be treated. Now, if you like to treat people like shit and through negativity and drama and chaos, then that's probably what you're going to receive back. I personally don't subscribe to that. And one of the first things that, I always do, if I'm shaking hands with somebody, I always stand up. It's a sign of respect. Or if you're traveling in different cultures, learn the respectful ways of that culture. If I'm in Asia, you may bow. If I'm in India, I may pray. If I'm here in America, I may just smile and stand up and shake your hand, right? That is one of the golden rules of life. When you shake somebody's hand, have a firm shake, but look that person in the eye. It's a golden rule to show respect for who you're shaking hands with, but also let them know that you are a strong individual, right? I always say never turn down a peppermint pill. Those reasons may be obvious. If somebody's offering you something and they don't want to be rude, hey, Mark, here's a peppermint pill. Take it, right? Maybe have some bad breath. Take advice if you want to grow old. This is a golden rule that I've really subscribed to in my years, and especially since my surgery. Take advice if you want to grow old, because that advice helps us. And again, growing old, Mark Twain talked about this. Growing old is a privilege because it's something denied to many. And I've witnessed that firsthand in my own experiences. My brother, who would have been 46 yesterday, was 21 when he passed. My older brother, 3 days later, who was diagnosed with terminal cancer, brain cancer, got to the age of 35. My father-in-law, Don, 46, going into 47, multiple sclerosis took his life. So it's a reminder that getting old is a privilege. And I've been privileged to be on this planet for almost 53 years now. And do I grow old? I don't know. It depends on how much currency of time is left in my bank account, because I don't know, right? Is it time to withdraw everything and move to the next journey, the next soul adventure? We'll find out one day at a time, right? If you want to, live the experience of maybe traveling alone or with your best friend, traveling can teach you so much. Traveling opens up education, knowledge, wisdom. I've learned so much by visiting different countries, including, you can see I've been to Iceland. Loved Iceland, beautiful area. I've been to many parts of the world. And when you learn to travel, whether it's by yourself or with your colleague, your better half, your spouse, your best friend, do that, because it's going to give you experience and education knowledge, which hopefully leads you to wisdom. Do things with passion or don't do it at all. Do things with passion or don't do it at all. Again, passion is a daily present moment, because tomorrow, we think we always guaranteed tomorrow. Did you thank yourself for waking up today? I did. I actually woke up pretty sore from my rehabilitation, but I also was astro traveling and dreaming. I dream a lot. And so when I woke up today, I woke up kind of in a pissy mood, kind of like, well, that dream sucked. I was stuck in France. I was trying to get back to the boat. For some reason, I had to go to a workshop up on a train with my friend Nicole, who owns a studio up in Canada, and Tony Stockwell was going to be there. And then I couldn't get back. And so I woke up all in a panic because I was going to miss my cruise. And that's pretty common for me for my dreams. I dream pretty exclusive, sometimes in color, sometimes not in color, which is interesting. But when I woke up, nonetheless, I said, just a dream, wasn't my reality for what I see. Thank you for being alive today. What can I find the passions for today, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So do things with passion or don't do it at all is what I'd recommend. If someone lends you a car, return it filled up. These are just the little things in life. These are, life lessons. I even got a book right here, the complete life lesson instruction book. Let's just open a page. When reading self-help books, include the Bible. Okay, gives you perspective. I would say not just the Bible, but I would say the Quran. I would say the Hindu Bible. I would say, look at all aspects from different parts of the world, what people believe. When you hear a kind word spoken about a friend, tell them so. Pack a couple of Ziploc bags and a pad of Post-it notes when you travel. That's actually pretty smart. Pack a couple of Ziploc bags and a pad of Post-it notes when you travel. Remember that it's better to be cheated in price than in quality. Don't compare your children with their siblings or classmates. Be enthusiastic in your expressions of gratitude and appreciation. Again, that was just a random page I opened up. Gratitude, attitude for gratitude is very, very, very important. If you're at a table or if you're at a function, don't talk about work. Don't talk about politics, especially today. Politics is just, for me, I got caught up in the political circus watching all these clowns. And that's what it is. It's a circus with a bunch of clowns. And then you're entitled to your vote and your opinion, of course. But I, as an independent voter, don't get caught up in the political, because it's so divided and it's so becoming dangerous. And, there's the old saying, war is politics with violence. Politics is war without violence. And we're moving. And if you follow my work, you know that I've said for a long time, the United States will not look like the United States in the future under all 50 states. I believe that we're going to have either a cold civil war, succession of states, people that are going to go their own way, kind of similar in history. If you know Portugal and Spain and their civil war, how they became different countries. I personally see that for the United States, because there's just two different ideologies of how the country should move forward or be set back. And that's progression, right? That's opinion and choice. But again, at the table, you don't want to talk about work. You don't want to talk about politics or religion. But the problem with today's society is everybody has a smartphone. Nobody's talking at the table anymore, because we're all connected here, looking down at the, what's so important of the smartphone, right? My mother-in-law years ago talked about this was the devil's hand tool, because it disconnects. And, social media, I would say, is the same construct of that same, ideology. So write your goals and work on them. Defend your point of view, but be tolerant and respectful of others. Call and visit your relatives. Never regret anything, learn from everything. Never regret anything, learn from everything. I can live with a lot of regrets based on mistakes and choices, but I choose not to do that. I choose to learn, because that's what life is. Learn it from experiences. Honor and loyalty must be present in your personality. That's very, very true. Don't lend money to someone. Don't lend money to someone who won't pay you back, unless you know that you're doing it knowing that they're not going to pay you back. We've had family members in the past that we have loaned money pretty much knowing that we're not going to be paid back, but it was to help them at a time of need. And that's okay, because that's compassion and empathy. But don't have that expectation that they're going to pay you back. And he probably will never pay us back, and that's fine. Sing in the shower. Sing in the shower. It just, when I did that this morning, I woke up after a bad dream, took a breath, said, thank you for today's journey. Again, Ram Dass talks about this is the womb of our learning. We're in the womb of our learning of who we are. And then I got in the shower and I turned on some music and did a little dancing, did a little singing, changed my energy, changed my vibration, changed my focus, because I could have been focused on this bad nightmare that I had, right? Care for a plant or garden. I have plants all around me. I water them, I talk to them. It gives you a sense of responsibility. My garden is producing all sorts of great stuff, squash and tomatoes and peppers, and but plant a garden, because that can help you. I think about Buddha a lot, because Buddha talks about his journey of his struggle and his pain and his achievements to reach enlightenment. And along the way, he tended to a garden, right? He talked about tending to the garden. And then when he finally, after many, many years, through his education, his knowledge, and his wisdom, he reached enlightenment. And what did he do? He went back to tending his garden of simplicity, right? Even the guest we had on from Australia, at the end of the shows, I try to ask my guests, who or what inspires you in the world to keep going today? And he said, my grandfather. He said, my father, I'm sorry, my father, who is 96, who lives a very simple life, tends his garden and does simplicity at the age of 96. That's who inspired him. He lived a simple life. He didn't have a lot of stuff, because when you have a lot of stuff in today's society, The more stuff you have, the more you have to pay for it. And a lot of times the stuff you own ends up owning you based on debt, based on slavery to what the things that you buy. So be mindful of that and do things that maybe don't cost money, like go take a hike, go tend a garden. Gardens aren't very expensive, water, seeds, pretty cheap. Keep an eye on the sky every chance you get. I always say look up because you never know what you're going to see. I was in my hot tub last night looking up at the stars, just watching in amazement of this universe, how small we are, right? We're on a round planet going around a big ball of fire in this big mathematically incomprehensible universe of stars and black holes and everything, right? And we're learning more about our universe as our technology, as our adolescence of technology and computing power. And we're going to move into quantum computing. That's another thing that is coming. So be prepared for that. AI, robotics, quantum computing is going to help move us out of our adolescence and into our early human experiences based on technology. So, keep an eye on the sky because you never know what you're going to see, is what I would say. Discover your skills and exploit them. It's okay to start over, even if you're later. If you're later in life, you're older. You don't have to start from the beginning. You can start with the tools that you have learned, the skills that you have learned, and exploit them to live the best, happiest, simplest life that you can. Right? Love your job or leave it. I can say today, I just had a conversation with a colleague who is in the former job. I was with the federal government between the Coast Guard and the VA for over 23 years. Through my medical retirement from my surgery and changes to my back, I left that job. Actually was forced to leave, which is fine because they wouldn't accommodate me for my medical conditions as a disabled veteran, which there'll be accountability later on down the road for that, which is fine. But it was there's that song by Garth Brooks, Thank God for Unanswered Prayers, because I hated the job. I did not like the job. The people I worked with, I liked my team, but the leadership and the bosses and your supervisors can really make or break your job, mental health wise, abuse of power, discrimination, equal employment, that kind of thing takes place in the federal government all the time. So when I left, I didn't love it. So obviously the universe said, well, if you don't love what you're doing, you need to leave it and we will help assist you and guide you and financially support you to do what you love. And I do love what I do. Helping, readings, shows, podcasts, writing books, events. That's my purpose. That's my pain to purpose progression and loving what I do. And the secret of life is getting paid to do what you love. That is the secret of life. Because again, we're the only species that pays to live here. So if you don't love your job, leave it, find something new, because again, time is your greatest currency. And at the end of the day, we don't know how much is left in our account or our balance, right? Teach someone a value, preferably a small one. This can go a long way. I'm so grateful for my teachers, my mentors, some who are still living and some who have passed on to the spirit world. My counselor that I meet with every 2 weeks, right before the show, very grateful. He actually I read in my article that I'm writing, the Pain to Purpose article that's coming out on Sunday. And some of those diamonds, some of those gems and nuggets that are in that article are directly from him. And I thanked him for that. Valuable information that he has shared with me to help me move through some of my difficult times. Treat yourself at least once a year. Self-care is very important. Take care of your health. Your health is your true wealth. Always greet with a smile. Even if you're in a bad way, I really try to remember to greet people with a smile because body language and energy in your auric field say a lot. Don't put your opinion on issues you don't know. We see a lot of that in the social media platform today. There's a lot of opinions based on having no knowledge to the topic at all. It's just their way to weigh in. And again, when I see that, to me, it's a way of wanting to be a part of something, right? We are a species that wants to be connected, unity, relationships, what have you, online groups. And when I see people weigh in and you just read some of their comments and you're like, wow, that's, there's an issue that I've been seeing that's been a pretty big issue in what I do. And I've watched both sides, but I have not chosen to participate or pick a side, just observe versus absorb the situation. It's been more beneficial and peaceful for me because I'm not picking sides, but yet I could weigh in based on my knowledge, but I choose not to, right? Because I don't know the whole story. right? But we see that in social media today where people will put their opinion on issues they don't know. I saw it on Facebook. I saw what Mark said. I saw it on YouTube. So that makes me an expert. No, it doesn't. In fact, I always try to equate myself now, and I have a lot of education. I have a lot of knowledge just in the physical world. I have an undergrad. I have a graduate. My undergrad is in business management and communications. My graduate is sports medicine and human performance. That certificate's hanging up right off my wall here. But that doesn't make me a knowledgeable person. It just means that I went through to teach myself on different concepts. But I always go back to what Plato said, and he says the person that claims to know everything knows nothing at all. And if I'm, approaching trying to be a Jedi Master, the Jedi Master, again, Star Wars reference, the Jedi Master has failed more times than the student or the Padawan has even begun to learn. And I have failed a lot in my life. And so I really try to just keep learning, be a sponge of life and learn and gain different perspectives and learn from different people, but never forget your roots, travel when you can, dance in the rain, recognize someone for their effort, be humble, even though not all the time. One of my mantras has been be humble or get humble, because I've been humbled so many times based on my arrogance, my cockiness, my ego. Be fair, stand up for those who are in need, seek your success without giving in or giving up. Recognize, like I said, recognize someone for their effort. Never miss a wonderful opportunity to remain quiet. Something I've had to learn along the way. Learn to enjoy the moments of loneliness. If you're on a spiritual path, a spiritual awakening, we talked about this today before the show. It can be quite lonely. So, we have technology, we have online. Get with people that have the same perspective or have maybe suffered through the same experiences that you have, and use that pain to gain perspective and purpose, but also enjoy those moments of loneliness. That's okay. That helps you to go within, to understand thyself. Be kind to your neighbors, make someone's day happier. It will make you happier too. Compete with yourself. Try to become the better version of who you are. Think fast, but speak slow. Don't talk with a mouthful. These are all little things that I've learned along the way, and they are called the golden rules of life. And you can, take those for what they are, apply them if you want, apply them if you don't. That's okay. That's free will and choice. So thanks for listening today. Again, today's message, this will be playing next week over on my YouTube channel. It's a reminder that time is the only currency you spend without ever knowing your balance. So use it wisely and be kind, caring, and compassionate in your day, the day that you have today, not the day that's guaranteed tomorrow, and the day you can't go back and change. What's the old adage? Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today's the gift. That's why we call it the present. So get in the present moment, and let's move into some fun and some readings. I'm going to get ready for the readings. Again, the Zoom link is out there. Hope to connect with you. If you're new to the show, how it works is I'll go through the comments once I get over into the Intuitive Prospector page to read who's here, give you some shout outs. One reading per person is what I try to do, just so I can try to get to everybody. Again, come in with an open mind, an open heart, open to receive. You may not agree with what's coming through, but remember, some of the best evidence can come after the connection, after the intention, after the reading that has been shared between you and I. The Zoom room will be open here in about 2 minutes. I'm going to cue this up with a song and get ready for your readings and just kind of clear my energy and expand my auric field. Again, everything I was talking about, experience the etheric, the clairs, everything that we're working on. Let me just jump back into the page. All right, so hi Katie, hi Jane, thanks for being here. Abominable snowman, yeah. Hi Denise, how are you? There's nothing better than speaking to your family on the phone. Hearing their voice is the best. Yep. Or hearing their voice via a show works as well. All right, so go ahead and post your questions in. How we'll work is we'll work in the digital quantum aspect. If you want a card reading, you'll tell me what deck, 1 through 14 of what you want. I will actually ask you to say stop, and you'll type that into the keyboard, because that lets me know that you're still interacting live with the show. You have about 30 seconds to do that. If I don't hear from you from 30 seconds, then we move on to the next request. But go ahead and get your get your questions ready. If you want to come to the Zoom room, it'll be open in 2 minutes, and we'll be right back just so I can gear up for that. So let's share, and we'll be right back.
When we're all in a better place, when we're all in a better place, if the wind blows free from the treetops to the ocean,
The Zoom room is now open.
why can't we be in a better place?
Go ahead and start adding your comments into the comment section. Want a reading? Let me know what card you want, what deck you want, 1 through 14.
There are pieces of the world in you. There are pieces that are in me too. There are shards in the sun, and it rains on everyone, and everything's undone and broken, until we're all in a better place. Yeah, we're all in a better place. When the water flows straight down to the ocean, why are the lines so hard to trace? I'm not asking you not to be you. I don't want you to change your life, but I just want to be together, you and me, from sea to shining sea, the way it used to be. Remember, we were all in a better place. Here we were all in a better place. Yeah, the river runs wild, nothing is for certain. Why let this moment go to waste? Are you ready for that grand embrace? Right here in a better place. Yes, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay, so let me come back on video. You'll be proud of me today. I did bring my phone up, so a couple ways to do readings today. You can comment, just make sure if you're commenting in the comment section that you're responding within 30 seconds. If I call your name out, you want a card reading, book reading, intuitive message, you have about 30 seconds to respond based on our interaction, so make sure that you do that. The Zoom link is out there if you want to come into the Zoom room and say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number. I do have my business phone up today. I kept the last few times I forgot to bring that in. You can call my business line. Just look for the hello avatar now. That number is 206-588-0661. That is my business line. If you want to give me a call, you can talk that way. So hi, Martha. Hi, Darlene. Good to see you. All right. So if you have any questions for me, now is the time. The Zoom room is open. The reading room is open. What's on your mind? What's on your heart? What's going on in your world? How can I be of assistance? How can I inspire you, inspire others, inspire before we expire? Anybody guess who this is? Anybody know who this is? So he was actually, he's a ventriloquist. He actually signed him I actually have the signed box from him that he sent to me. So hi, Denise, stopping in for my lunch break to say good morning, Mark. Well, good morning to you, Denise. Enjoy your lunch. All right. So we got a couple hanging out. Again, we can talk about intuition. We can talk about psychic sciences. We can talk about mediumship. Remember, mediumship is those that have lived a physical life and have moved over to the next journey. That's what mediumship is. I don't, some people ask, well, can you connect to my angels or my spirit guides or my ascended masters or the inspirers? No, because that's not mediumship. That's connecting to something subjective to you. I believe in all those. I'm not saying I don't. I do. I believe in all of those. But when it comes to strictly mediumship, that has to be somebody that incarnated, lived a life, decarnated, and is coming back through me as the medium to give you that information, to give you that evidence. And again, a reminder, we can definitely set the intentions, but I work for them. They don't work for me. I don't just snap my fingers and they come running. But it also is a big part of this is you. It's a triangle. You as the recipient, me as the medium, and them as the spirit world, the spirit intelligence, the spirit love that connects everything to have those reunions. So, hi, Valerie. Hi, Tristan. Good to see you. Victoria, thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for being here. Mark, I need guidance today in a situation. Any messages you feel I'm welcome to, my heart is heavy and I feel a need for safety. Do I tell all or hold some in for the time being? So, Victoria, what I would say, don't tell all. Say it to yourself, because part of pain is bringing, and you're going to love this article that's coming out, because I talk about some gems and some diamonds to help when you're feeling that pain. So you want to let it out, and you can let it out through a couple of different formats. And I'll give you a message here in just a second, Victoria. But you want to release that pain, that thing that, because the body, if you hold it in, the body will hold on to it vibrationally, health-wise. It will. And how do I know this? Because I lived with survivor's guilt for over 20 years when my brothers passed, because I thought I'd be going first. And so I had to unlearn that energy, and through counseling and grieving counseling and biofeedback and hypnotherapy and spiritual counseling, to realize if I don't release it, and the only way I'm going to release is to acknowledge it. You don't have to acknowledge it here publicly, but you can write it down. You could speak it out. You could say it into a voice recorder. I've done that before, where I've spoken into a voice recorder and listened back to my own pain. But you want to have awareness of it. You want to speak it and release it out. Literally let it out. And that will help you to come to acceptance. It will also give you perspective, and it will also give you that self-care moment. So what I want you to do, Victoria. Hi, Tara. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a subscriber. Again, you can see my subscribers have a green heart badge. That is the Diamonds Hub subscriber. That's $4.99. And there's a lot of things we do in that page, including the first Friday of every month. You get free readings from me by the Zoom link that's in those pages, or my Patreon Prospector subscribers. Those are my 2 subscribing channels. Hopefully I can do this next Friday, because I'm getting ready for a 3-day plant medicine experience. Hopefully I'll have good technology to do that. If not, then we'll have to do it another time, which is fine. But thanks for being a subscriber, Tara. Back to you, Victoria. Okay, so first, let me just hold space for you that you're feeling that heavy heart. But again, the first thing we want to do is acceptance, acknowledge. If it triggers you, don't deny your triggers. You know, you've watched past shows where I actually talked about don't deny the triggers, because if you deny them, the body will hold that in. And sometimes the body doesn't know it's a protective measure. Ego steps in, you can gain weight. Like I said, I got to the point where before I knew I needed surgery, I was well over 300 pounds, if you can believe that. I'm not that now. I've lost almost 55 pounds. But I was holding on to that, right? And that's the body getting big to protect itself. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take a nice deep breath. Breath is very powerful for calming the mind, but also moving negative energy out of the body, the auric field, changing the frequency, and breath can do that. Hey, Johnny, good to see you, brother. So Victoria, take a deep breath. Share and express what you want to express. You don't have to do it here in a public forum, but do it in a way that makes sense to you. But release it, acknowledge it, be aware to it, release it, because that's going to help you move that, and that heart will become lighter, I promise. So I'm going to pick the flower deck for you. I want you to type in, Victoria, when you hear the word stop in your mind. Now we're working, you got about 30 seconds. We're working in the digital level. I'm going to shuffle here. When you hear the word stop in your mind, say it out loud, and then type in stop in the comment section, and we'll talk about that card on the other side. So if you have a reading, or you want a reading, or you have a question, not if you have a reading, if you have a question you want to connect, you can look in the comment section. My number is out there now, 206-588-0661. That is the Intuitive Prospector business line. The Zoom link is there. If my moderators could share that link with anybody asking, if I'm not seeing all the comments, look for my avatars for the Zoom link if you want to come in and have a chat live here in the Zoom room, or you can post a comment in the section. So Victoria, your time is starting now. When I see the word stop for you, please type in stop in the comment section, and that's the message in the card. And it's the flower deck today. It's called the flower sentience, using nature and flowers to help guide us, to help heal us, to help, inspire us. So I know that you're still on because you're interacting. So Victoria, Austin, are you still on? Some of you dropped off. This is how I know that you're staying on live and interacting live. So I'm not seeing Victoria's comment come up, so she may have dropped off. Stop. Okay, there you are. Okay. I was getting to the end of the deck. That's why I'm like, that's why we got about 30 seconds to do this so I can move to the next question and keep people coming in. Again, Zoom room's open, phone line's open, comments are open. So this is a card for you, Victoria, today. This is called the Red Tulip. Now, it's a 1 energy. You can see the 1 right up here at the top of the card. What the 1 from numerology reminds me is that this is the independent journey, but it's also about what you put in, you get out. So what you have a heavy heart, so what you want to put in is get a less heavy heart. So you're going to have to do something in your journey, in your physical incarnate body, whether mind, breath work, mantras, release, writing, dancing, singing, whatever that may be. But what the card says here, the red tulip, this beautiful flower says to you, quote, believe in me. It asks you to trust the essence of God within you to be soul led. And again, whoever or whatever God is for you, I don't try to label or pigeonhole a description of who God is because it's too vast, it's too broad. There's many aspects of God, both feminine and masculine, that would incorporate my ideology of God. Follow your intuition and your awareness and those in the spirit world who care for you, and they will guide you well. This flower is also a declaration of love for you from the spirit world. So those that you are thinking of, those that are only ever thought away, those that you miss, this is their communication to you to say, there's a declaration of love from the spirit world, and of course, reminding you of God's unconditional love for you at all times. And that's what I was talking about earlier, the bridge between our world and the other world, the unseen world, the natural world and the unnatural world is love. That is the bridge. And so there's a lot of love coming for you, Victoria. And I hope that that will help lessen the load, lighten the heart. And again, work on your breath, work on your mindfulness, visualization, mindfulness, positive intent, gratitude, attitude for gratitude. It all can help change. Go out and do something for someone else, and it will help take that pressure off. But I hope that your situation improves. If you feel like you need safety, there are safety nets. There are things that you can do from where you're at, local law enforcement, counselors. There are definitely things you can do to help with that if you're not feeling safe. So court systems, all of that. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll of course hold you high and keep you in good mindset and safety. All right, my friend. So does anybody know who this is? I haven't seen any comments. This is new. I replaced Grogu. Grogu is now in the closet, and I brought him out, and he's fun. He's full of laughter. He's zany. The ventriloquist who operates him is amazing and is well known around the world. I started following this guy probably 20 years ago when he was still kind of nerdy and not known, and I followed him ever since. My sister-in-law and I love him. We've been to his show. It's a good time, a good laugh, and it's amazing because he makes him come alive. He really does. Even though we know he's a doll, we know that he's a prop set, but what he does with his skill sets, he's taken his skills and he has owned it, and he makes him come alive. And if you have not seen this before, I highly recommend you go see him once we get somebody to drop who it is in the comments if you know. All right, hi Glenda Ray, how are you? Good to see you here. All right, so any other questions for me today? The Zoom room's open. You can get the Zoom link. Again, this is a great way to get a reading without having to pay for it. This is my pro bono time. This is my free time to give back to you. Otherwise, outside of here, and if it's not in a divine service or you're affiliated with a spiritual church or a part of the SNU, then you have to pay for it. So it's a good way to, or join the hub. You get all the links at marclainhart.com. Diamonds Hub, $4.99, and then Patreon Prospectors has a breakdown of different subscriptions that you can use based on what you want. You get access to my shows early, you get access to my podcast, free readings, free meditations, free sound baths. So, all right, last call, last call. If not, I'm going to go enjoy my Friday, long weekend. It's nice out. Go out and practice my golf swing. Zoom room's open, phone line's open. And again, I'm actually setting the intentions to start Experience the Etheric sometime in September. That's helping you to work with your different skill sets, to work with your clairs, to experience a lot of what I'm talking about, to experience firsthand what I experience now on a daily basis. So, okay. Colleen says, hi, Colleen. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Jeff can't remember his last name. I will take a card, please, Tara. Okay, so let's, Victoria says, thank you so much, Mark. I value and appreciate your friendship and mentorship so much. My great-grandmother, Joyce, loved tulips. I know that she's looking over me and my children. I'm actually going to speak to a school counselor soon. Much love to you and everyone. I love that, Victoria. And again, this is, so what she's saying is the red tulip is, what it did is I pulled this card based on her interactions of saying stop. This is the card that was pulled because she said stop. This card triggered in her mind, called clairvoyance, for her grandmother, her great-grandmother, sorry, Joyce, who loved tulips. That triggered in her mind to think of her great-grandmother. That is communications. That's Experience the Etheric. That is a communication without communicating through a vibration off a vocal cord. That is clairvoyance and clairsentience communications with her great-grandmother, who's on the other side, I would imagine, right? So good luck with your school counselor, Jeff Dunham. Oh, I see what you're saying, Colleen. Jeff, I can't remember his name. Yes, Jeff Dunham is the ventriloquist, but who is that? That is not Jeff Dunham. That is Jeff Dunham puts his hand in his back and makes him come alive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Jeff Dunham. He's an amazing ventriloquist. You will, if you take your eyes off him, because he teaches too like this, and he does a lot of expressions like this. He makes his mannequins come alive. It's quite amazing. But what is his name? So, okay. So Tara, let's get ready for you. Jeff Dunham, my nanny loved him. She's watching over me as well. So Victoria, that again, your nanny just triggered based on that concept, right? So Tara, what deck would you like? 1 through 14. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for being here. We're doing free reading. Zoom room's open. Phone line's open. Comments is open. Tara, what deck would you want? I need some empowerment and strength. Okay, so let's put this on you. What card deck do you want? 1 through 14. You pick the number, and then you're going to type in the word stop as I'm shuffling, because this helps based on you want some empowerment and you want some strength. We all want empowerment. 13. Well, that's funny because it's the same deck that I just had for Victoria. So, Tara, take a deep breath. Set your intentions. We're wanting empowerment and strength. As I shuffle on my end, you have 30 seconds to type in stop. Once I see that stop in the comment sections, that's the card we'll talk about. So 13, which is the flower, it's called the flower sentience deck. It's using nature and the power of flowers to give us messages. Who would have thought flowers could give us messages? So when I see the word stop, your timer starts now. Stop. Awesome. Thank you. I'll get you all clued into how we're working on the quantum digital level, right? So here's the card. Beautiful card. It's a 44 energy. So this is a couple things for you, Tara. Hi, Kara. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're opening for reading. So if you have a message, or you want a message or a reading, phone line, Zoom room, and comments is open for connections. So for you, this is called Frisia, the number 44. Now the 44 is interesting because this is about double work. It's about doing what you put in, you get out, but it's also an angel number. The 44 represents angels, and it's a double 44. But here's what the message is. This is what it says for you, based on empowerment and strength. Frisia is traditionally given to convey friendship and reminds you to allow friends to be there for you. So maybe you need, in order to have some empowerment and some strength, maybe you need to let some friends into what's going on. It also represents innocence, thoughtfulness, trust, and its perfume connects with a, quote, mother's love. So I don't know, Tara, if mother is here, if mother has made her way to the other side. If she has, this is her way of coming through based on a flower, because it's a mother's love. And if she's still here, connect to that mother's love, right? But it also says The white coloring being the most fragrant. So there's no white really in here. It's a lot of yellows and reds. But it says the buds of the flowers are produced downward, but when they blossom, the flower ends up facing upward. So the flower starts off like this, but then it ends up like this. Kind of reminds me of a sunflower, right? When a sunflower doesn't have enough sunlight, it actually dips, and it actually will use the sunlight and it'll rise back up. And if there's no sun, sunflowers will actually face each other and share their energy. That's the power of nature, right? Kind of cool. It also encourages you to consider enjoying enjoying some high spirits. The flower represents someone who remains grateful whilst under pressure. So recall its image or perfume when you feel a little stressed. This is a symbol of perseverance and turning difficulties into positive situations. So there is your empowerment. There is your strength. And it's all based off a flower called freesia. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sure somebody will let me know. But that's called freesia or freesia. Freesia. Anybody know how to pronounce that correctly? What can I say? All right. So Zoom room's open, phone line's open. Nobody still has not named him. Who is he? He's new to my setting. I replaced Grogu after Grogu, if you don't know, is part of the Star Wars universe. Yes, I'm nerding out on my Star Wars connections. Love the Force, love the messaging, love the power of what those movies of Star Wars can do. Obviously, it still resonates today because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, whether it's streaming on Disney Plus or in the movie theaters. And there's a new movie called Mandalorian and Grogu coming out in 2025. So looking forward to that. All right. You're welcome, Tara. And again, I hope, does a mother's love resonate as well? Can you let us know if mom is still here? And if she's still here, then you probably should give her a call and talk to her. If she's not still here and she's made her transition, that's her way of also coming through based on the mind and the message of a mother's love. So if you want to put that in the comments, that just helps for everybody that's following along and participating in the true power of communications. Communications is not limited just by the vocal cord. There's so many ways to receive different communications. Or if you follow my work, what I talk about and teach about all the time, the signs, the symbols, the synergy. The synergy is your energy and what is unseen, and that energy, because everything is energy. That's your blending. That's the synergy of everything. And then, of course, the synchronicities. So sign, symbols, synergy, synchronicities, which Einstein always said, synchronicities are God's way of remaining anonymous. Coincidence is synchronicity. Again, whatever God is to you. I don't put a label on that because it's just too vast. All right. Yes, Jane. Big fist bump to you, Jane. His name is Peanut. So if you don't know what I'm referencing here and you want a good laugh and you want to let go of today's chaos and society, type in Jeff Dunham, Peanut. He will come up and you will see him come alive. I'm telling you, I wish I had that skill set, but man, Jeff Dunham is just an amazing ventriloquist, and Peanut is hilarious. This was one of his first main characters, not his first, but his first breakout character when he started doing shows on the road. So yes, Tara, you're right too. Peanut, Jane, you're right. Both fist bump to both of you. Melissa, all right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a follower. I'd love a message about the timing of welcoming a new companion into my life. Okay. Tara says, she is here. Relationship is very hard for me. She doesn't let me shine. All right, Tara, well, somebody else is not going to hold you back from shining. You decide to shine, right? So even if the relationship's hard, you can always set good intentions, and unforgiveness keeps them in control. So work with forgiveness and let that go so you can move forward and shine, because that's what, that diamond wants to shine, right? And sometimes our relationships can take that, that luster of that shine away. So move to a higher perspective, and if you have to love her from a distance, then do that. So I get the relationships when it comes to family, it can be quite difficult. So Jane says, I Googled it. Okay. Melissa, yep, Jeff Dunham. Yep, so you guys are getting it. Jeff Dunham, and his character's name is Peanut. If you want a good laugh, go YouTube it. Funny as hell. It's amazing what he can do. I mean, it's just honestly his interactions, and it's him. It's his hand and a puppet in his interactions. It's just, I know it sounds, maybe if you've never seen that before, it sounds a little weird or creepy, but you'll start to lose him talking, and you will focus on Peanut. And again, this is an autograph. He sent this to me. And he's in a box, and it was autographed by him. So I thought I'd put him out for be fun, be zany, be crazy. Why not? Life is short. All right. Hi, Bernadette. All right. So Melissa, you're saying I still, what do you mean, huh? Timing, welcome a new companion into my life. So Melissa, let's talk about you real quick. Take a breath. pick a number 1 through 14. Today, 13 seems to be the popular deck, but you can pick any number you want. Put that in the comment sections for Melissa, and we'll pull that deck because, again, you're looking for a relationship. Relationships, what I would say when it comes to relationships, we're a species that requires relationships and touch. Science tells us that if we don't have touch and community and relationships when we're first born, within 18 months, an infant can die based just on lack of touch alone, right? Science teaches that from a medical standpoint. So we're a species where we want touch and we want relationship and companionships. I still have a ticket from the show decades ago. Oh, I love that. So you've been to the show, so you know what I'm talking about, Melissa. But Melissa, pick a deck 1 through 13. But I want to remind you, the best relationship you can have is with yourself, to know thyself. As above, so below, and as below, so above. Because once you get into that place of acceptance for who you are and reaching your higher self, that vibration and that frequency can attract the same likes. So, hi, Craig. Thanks for being here. Number 9. Okay. So don't forget about the relationship with self. And now let's plant seeds for the future and the intent to open up a relationship of who may be coming to you, because it may not be in the perspective of what you think. It could be a fur baby. It could be a colleague. It could be a friend, or it could be a platonic or romantic relationship. So you have to set that intention. So number 9, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, well, here you go. There you go. We're starting off with the spiritual deck, cooperation and love. But go ahead and take that deep breath. While I'm shuffling, type in the word stop. You have 30 seconds starting now. This is for Melissa. And am I saying Albit? Albit? Am I saying your last name right? Sorry if I'm not. I apologize. Albit? It's hard to, when you're reading it in a comment section. So you're on deck, Melissa. We're shuffling your deck number 9. It's my spiritual deck. And when I see the word stop, just those words are so confirmed. Okay. You can still say stop. I'm still shuffling the deck, Melissa. Okay, I got to start over. 30 seconds. Still pull your card since we're setting the intent. Type in stop, hun. Yes, and stop. Perfect. Okay. All right, here's the card. It's number 5. Bunch of horses. Do you like horses or white stallions? It's called Changes card. So the 5 energy from numerology represents freedom, love, adventure. Freedom, love, adventure. That's what 5 represents in the numerology spectrum. It says change is always happening. Nothing can stand still. Evolution flows from change. Through our experiences, we learn the lessons which enable soul growth. That's kind of what I was just talking about, to know thyself, right? Your soul growth. So maybe the timing wasn't ready and right for a relationship to happen. Now we're going to plant those seeds so it can. The key to getting the best from the experience of change is to learn to grow, learn to go with the flow. Swimming against the tide of change is a waste of energy, defeats the object, and may lead to missing new opportunities waiting just ahead. Okay, so the power of change can sometimes be equated to a team of wild horses. If you allow them to run without direction, they will run erratically, but if you take the reins, you can drive them in the directions of your choice. The energy of change can feel very erratic and make you want to try out many things at the same time, thus becoming a jack of all trades and master of none. Don't take risks or gamble. Choose wisely how you will take the best advantage to the opportunities available. So if you see horses after this connection, after this reading, remember, some of the best evidence comes after the intent, the reading, the delivery of the message. So if you're seeing horses, pay attention what those horses are telling you, whether it's in a magazine, on a show. Maybe you hear the song Wild Horses. I can't remember who sings that. I can't play it anyway because of copyright. But pay attention to that, because that's the universe's way of getting in flow and in sync, and that synergy that I talked about to work for a new relationship. Gives you a relationship and higher perspective of yourself, but also unlocks the doors to bring in new, like attracts like. And I disagree a little bit with this card. Again, you can take risks, but be wise about it. But I always say, if you don't risk it, there's no biscuit. So that's just me, though. But that's, does that make sense, Melissa? Hi, Lori. Good to see you. How are you? So again, we're doing readings. Zoom room is open. You can come in live and have a chat. Specifically, if you want mediumship, if you want me to connect with a loved one, happy to do that. And again, when I say loved one, it can be a friend, a family, and or a fur baby, because it's like a box of chocolates. We never know what we're going to get when we get into mediumship. I had a really cool reading Tuesday, and the gentleman's father had come through, and it was a broken relationship. So a lot of times when that happens, the spirit world, the father was coming back to not only apologize, but try to build the relationship. Because I personally believe relationships can still be built even if that person's gone. And he was walking my sitter's dog. So his dog that he loved was in the spirit world, and the father who had passed was walking the dog in my mind, and I shared that with him, and he understood that, and he could accept that. And I don't really speak to animals, but I may become aware of animals and what they may look like, their mannerisms. I may get a quick impression like, thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for helping me to transition over, because we can do that as humans for our animals so they're not suffering, right? Hopefully someday we can do that for humans as well that are terminal or suffering. We can give them a shot 30 seconds later, no pain, they're moved over. Hopefully laws will change and evolve with that. We don't want anybody to suffer. I think of my father-in-law all the time from his MS, and today's his birthday. He would have been 72 today. He suffered for 7 days horribly. It was just so horrible and traumatic and devastating to watch, because there was no laws to incorporate. He was on a feeding tube and a breathing tube, and he finally said, I can't do this. And they took him off all of that, and it took him 7 days to make his transition, when, if there were laws in place for, humane people, that are going to die, people that are terminal, it's just a matter of time. Why not give them the shot? Like what we were doing our soldiers during World War I, World War II, or even in today's, infantry. If you're dying and you're in pain, we can give them morphine out in the field, and within a matter of 30 seconds, the respiratory stops, and they've made their transition without that further pain. So, yeah, Lori, let's get you a card, hon. What deck do you want? 1 through 14. We can do a book reading. Again, you can call in live. The number is 206-588-0661. I did bring my phone today, so if you want to talk to me on the phone, if you want to come into the Zoom room, I'm doing readings, all comments, Zoom room, phone line, all out open today. But again, it's just that perspective of, I can talk to animals, but I don't really talk to them. They don't talk the same as humans. But it was really cool to see the father coming through walking the dog, which brought a lot of healing and tears to my sitter, which is a big power of mediumship. So that's how mediumship works in the Zoom room. I don't do, I can do mediumship over the phone, I guess, but I won't do it in the comment section because it's too clunky. All right, so Lori, let's go. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Numerology today for you. Cool deck. All right, so Lori, you know how this works. You're a follower, you're a subscriber. All right, shuffling, 30 seconds. You're on the clock. Shuffling starts now. You got 30 seconds to type in stop. You're welcome, Melissa. You speak of so relative today. Thank you. You're very welcome. Come back and join us every Friday. Rafe, welcome back. We're here Fridays at 10 a.m. My YouTube show is gonna start here in a half hour at 12. I just got the notification. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that link is in the comments. Stop. Thank you, Lori. So make sure to subscribe and join almost the 22,000 spiritual prospectors joining me on today's journey of life. So your card today for you, Lori, is this. Oh, well, it's upside down. Let's try this. Financial discipline, 48. So let's talk about this. What's going on financially? The word discipline, based on your typing stop, financial discipline is the universe's way of saying, tighten the belt, stop spending erratically on stuff that, like I said earlier, the stuff we buy can put us into debt, and the stuff we own ends up owning us, right? But the number 4 and the 8 is interesting, because the 4 is about hard work. What you put in, you get out. 8 is about manifesting, based on business, based on finances. The number 8 I know very well because it's the infinity. It's about journey in, journey out. But Lori, what's going on with the financial aspects of your journey in your life? Because the universe is calling for you to, excuse me, hiccups. Uh-oh, must be, are we timed for mediumship? Usually when my start hiccuping or my voice gets lost, that's usually time for spirit to come through and give a connection. I guess we'll see. If somebody calls in, got to call in or Zoom in. So Lori, does that make sense? Financial discipline for you? You can just say yes or no. You don't have to get into details, but it's just, that's the card that you chose based on the deck you picked. So pay attention to that color, pay attention to that 4, pay attention to that 8. Now that the message has been delivered, the intent has been set. Energy follows physics tells us that energy follows our thoughts and our intentions. That's literally something that goes hand in hand, intentions and thoughts, because thoughts become words become vibrations and ripples and energy, and that also incorporates habits and behaviors. So it is all linked. It's quite interesting from a metaphysical standpoint, and today is Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live. So Makes sense. I was working for a lady, but she took all my clients and I am financially broke. Okay. Sorry to hear that. There will be some karma for her. She took all your clients. So reset, refocus, rejuvenate, revive, set new intentions to attract new clients. And again, that financial discipline of what's going on. So I do need to look for a job, but I'm injured from a car accident. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that financial discipline. So yeah, be disciplined then, and what's going on with you. And I'm sorry that you were in a car accident. Holding space for you, my friend. Melissa says, makes so much sense. I've been so isolated. An opportunity just appeared, and I wanted to play it safe. I see the risk worth whatever it brings, especially loving energy exchange, whether it animal. Okay, yeah, and you love horses. Okay, love horses, and 55 came to me today. All right, 55 is double freedom, love, and adventure. So enjoy that journey. All right, but I do work part-time. Okay, so that financial discipline would make perfect sense then. So that's what the universe. Be patient, things will change. That karma will come back when people do that. And I've had that. I've had that experience where people will, unfortunately in the spiritual, as a professional in the professional spiritual community, I've seen that where people will take from others or compete with others. And it's really sad to watch because that's not what I do. It's not why I got into this. So. Okay, so last call. Any other questions? Any other connections? Last call. I'm going to start closing down the Zoom room. So Zoom room is open for, I'll set the timer 2 minutes. Any other comments you want to put in the comment sections, or you can call me at 206-588-0661. I do have the ringer up, so it will ring if you want to have a chat on the phone. I believe I've gotten to everybody. If I missed you, this is also the opportunity where you can, if I missed you, don't just know that it's not intentional. Sometimes it's based on the algorithms, based on connections. We are having some connection issues with my Comcast Xfinity. The text coming out later again this afternoon to help us. But this is last call. So if I missed your question, go ahead and put a little star so it catches my eye. Put bump and then ask your question again so we don't have to try to find it up, because there ends up by the end of the show there's a ton of comments. This is last call for connections. Last call for connections. So that card makes sense. Thank you. Okay, Lori. And I have no work, but I do work part-time. All right. Again, your focus determines your reality. So let that go. Don't focus on her. She'll have her karma. Just sit back and wait, be patient, and start focusing on getting healthier, getting better from your car accident, and focusing on new clients. Set intentions. Your thoughts are like planting seeds in a garden, but it takes, just like a garden, if you don't water the thoughts and you don't weed what thoughts you're tuning into, it's just like a garden. If you don't weed your garden, you're going to have a lot of weeds that destroys the produce that you're trying to create, right? And a garden takes time, watering, tending to it, and eventually it will produce, those fruits. So, okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today on this Friday, the last of summer. I hope you have, if you're here in the United States, I hope you have a great long weekend. A lot of love from Peanut for those that finally figured out who he is. Again, go check him out, Jeff Dunham, very famous, very skilled ventriloquist. If you're looking for a good laugh and a little bit of escape from today's reality, I guess, because there's a lot going on and there's a lot more to come, y'all. If you followed my journey, you've tuned into my shows or my articles, or what I've been talking about since 2018. I said the Roaring 20s were going to be a decade of transformation unseen in history past, because of everything that we're going through, our adolescence, through technology, quantum computing, robotics, artificial intelligence. We will learn that we're not alone in the universe. At some point here in the next few years, or even maybe the next few months, there's a lot of what I call the drip, 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 a lot of technology out there that's not of our own, that's not even of this age. So you have to ask yourself, why do UFOs put lights on? So you can see them. They're sending us a message. They're letting us know that they are here, but yet move beyond, defies the brain of the laws of gravity, the laws of physics, the laws of aerodynamics. But it's not really a crazy thought if you think about it. What's crazy is thinking that two guys back in the early 1900s thought they could build this contraption and fly like a bird. Well, we know that today to be an airplane, and I'm sure many of you have traveled on an airplane, which was somebody's idea that became a concept in our reality. And what I'm saying is, these concepts that start off as, oh, that's just pie in the sky, that will never happen, that's science fiction becoming science fact. And we're going to see more and more as we move forward in our Roaring 20s. So buckle up, because there's a lot of change coming with technology, space travel, communications, medicine. I'm an example even of medicine. I have 3D printed titanium now in my back. 5 years ago, it was plastic and they didn't use 3D printing. So again, it just shows you what is science fiction becomes science fact. And there's a lot of change that are still coming in our roaring 20s. So I don't see any other comments coming in. I don't see any other bumps coming in. So I must have done a good job getting to everybody today. Again, thanks for tuning in. Let's pick a fun closing song to take us out with. Oh, let's go to the pop category in my library. Let's see what pop has to offer us. Gonna need a little help. Everybody talking. It's time. Change. Maybe we do the change song. So, because change is the only thing consistent in life, right? If you embrace that, it makes life a lot easier and a lot more acceptable to know that the only thing consistent in life is change. So last call, Zoom room is now closing. Phone line is now closing. Comments line is now closing. So I don't see any other comments and I don't see any other bumps. Again, thank you to my team, Colleen, Jane, thanks for being here. Help to monitor those comments, keep the platform positive. Again, my social media is all about platforms for positivity, inspiration, encouragement, motivation, think outside the box. That's what Metaphysical Meetup with Marc Live is on Fridays at 10 a.m. You can go over right now in about 15 minutes and catch my other show over on my YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking about pain to purpose, and my latest article comes out on Sunday through Best American Psychics, called Pain to Purpose, and some tools and diamonds to help you on your journey if you are struggling in this day and age. So Lori says that card makes sense. Perfect. All right, my friends. Well, thank you to my subscribers. Thanks to the Diamond Hub subscribers, Patreon prospectors. I really appreciate you. I look forward to connecting with you next week. It is the first Friday of each month. If you are a subscriber, there will be free readings and meditations and healings and sound baths to be had within those community pages. The Zoom link is there, so make sure to take advantage of that if you are a subscriber. Again, if you want to learn more about who I am, the journey, the education, the knowledge, the wisdom, the fun, the prospecting, go to marclainhart.com. It's always funny when you try to do this on camera. marclainhart.com right here. And I look forward to prospecting with you on another time, another day, another place. So until our next soul adventure together, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. Most importantly, wherever you're at in the world, whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying it. But dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live, and I hope that you'll discover that diamond within. So from Peanut and myself, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great long weekend if you're here in the United States. Much love, many blessings, and I'll see you next time here on Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. So, oh wait, what time does your show start in Canada? At 11, because I always come in late. Lori, the show starts here. I'm in Seattle, so we're Pacific Standard Time. So I'm not sure where you're at in Canada. You must be an hour Mountain Time ahead, maybe, since it's 11. So the show always starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just based on the 11 a.m. makes me believe you're in Mountain Time, which is 1 hour ahead. So we are always live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then the YouTube show starts at 12 p.m. over on my YouTube channel if you want to catch that. So great question. But thanks for coming, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks for everybody for your questions, and I hope that today's readings make a difference in your life, because that's what this platform and show and message is all about, is inspiring others to be inspired, to inspire others, and to inspire before we expire. So I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Much love. Namaste. Oh, I'm trying to get better with doing this because we have that technology. There we go. So many diamonds to you. All right. Cheers.
The summer came and gone too fast. The world has changed and never lasts. It begs you to wait for a little while longer, 'cause though it's strange, you come out strong. Do you ever feel like autumn leaves blown in the wind? Like it's never gonna end, never ends. Prayers up to heaven that His blessings it would send. And the struggling. But I gotta tell you, a change is coming. A change gonna come. The change is welcome. And where hope comes from, the change is everything you want. 'Cause if
if it never changes, then the sun never comes. The sun may never come. The sun ain't never gonna come. The sun may never come. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, unrestrained as the wind. If it blow, it could get difficult, but I'm not tripping, no. It's so fascinating. There's something inside of my brain. I feel it activating. Oh, a change is coming. A change gon' come. A change is welcome. And where hope comes from, the change is everything you want. Cause if it never changes, then the sun never comes. The sun may never come. The sun ain't never gonna come. The sun may never come. Yeah. No, it's true. I wanna change it all for you, but there's nothing I can do. Just stand by my side. And you know it's true. I wanna change it all for you, but there's nothing I can do. Just stand by my side. Yeah. A change is coming. A change gon' come. The change is welcome. And where hope comes from, the change is everything you want. Cause if it never changes, then the sun never comes.
One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the intuitive prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.